So, I grew up in a family of doctors. So it was far away from films. So my mom used to take me to her medical conferences anamata. Ala ilanti stalls undevi, laparoscopy instruments, sutures. So I used to be like, as a kid, like a 10-year-old walking through, like, wow, okay, that's a new suture, very nice, good job, Ani. So now I'm walking through a VFX and film sort of exhibition, and it feels really cool because I understand these things now. I could actually use them. Uh, so I always enjoyed writing or telling stories. I think all humans tell stories. Chinnappudu, ఏదన్నా చేస్తే ఇంట్లో అబద్ధం చెప్పే దగ్గర నుంచి స్టోరీ స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి. సో యూ స్టార్ట్ టెల్లింగ్ స్టోరీస్ దేర్, అండ్ దెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ కెన్ మేక్ అ లివింగ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్, ఇట్స్ గ్రేట్. అండ్ యా, ఈ ఈ ప్రాసెస్లో పాస్ట్ 10 years I've made 2 films. I've produced one, సో మూడు చేశాను. ఇంకో నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్లో ఇంకొకటి చేయబోతున్నాను. సో దట్స్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్.
గ్రేట్. సో మీరు చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి రాస్తున్నారా? ఐ మీన్, హ్యావ్ యూ బీన్ రైటింగ్ సిన్స్ you've been a child or teenager? When did that writing thing start for you?
Yeah, I started writing because that was the only thing that didn't require budget, basically paper and pen kada. So the budget lekuna, so you could start writing. And so I thought I'll become a journalist. Journalism ki any fake stories rastunte, I thought maybe that's not a good avenue. So then I thought I'll go into advertising, because anyway you're selling fake things. So I thought advertising is the way to go. But
Write non-fiction.
So, yeah, now I'm making stories and making them look real.
Nice. So any advice for the people that are over here? Like, there are a lot of visual effects and animation students, right? Yes? Raise your hands. Excellent. Oh my God.
All VFX students, huh? Oh, cool, man. Ekkada chaduvtunnaru? Ekkada, like Hyderabad na mainly? Oh, cool. Wow. Okay, nice.
వాళ్ళకి ఏదైనా అడ్వైస్ ఇస్తారా రైటింగ్ గురించి, ఏం చేయాలి అని?
రైటింగ్ గురించా? I don't know. It's nice to see like so many people in VFX studying VFX, because I don't know, unleashing future of VFX ante I don't know how the future is going to change, especially 2023. We've seen we've been introduced to AI, we've been introduced to artificial intelligence, so things are going to like exponentially keep changing, but the physics won't change ever. Right. So physics will always be the same. So whatever you're going to learn, it's great to see all of you actually learning, because most of us ended up learning on the job. Like assistant director ga, I used to make sure my job used to be to follow up VFX shots so that I could learn and to see what I could do.
ఎక్కడెక్కడ చేశారు అసిస్టెంట్ డైరెక్టర్గా?
శేఖర్ కమ్ల దగ్గర చేశాను ఒక 2 films. So a lot of that helped actually.
Excellent. So బేసిక్గా రైటింగ్ చేయాలా? వీళ్ళు విజువల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఆర్టిస్ట్గా అవుతున్నారు, వాళ్ళు రైటింగ్ కూడా చేయాలంటారా, లేకపోతే అవసరం లేదంటారా?
Yeah, I mean everyone's interest kada, like whoever wants to express themselves, like some people are artists, musicians, writers, actors, everything is the same source okate untundi, they just express differently ante.
Correct. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So can we talk a little
about Kalki? Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about Kalki? Because వాళ్ళందరూ నాకు మెసేజెస్ పంపిస్తారు, కల్కి గురించి అడగలేదు, కల్కి గురించి అడగండి అని. సో అది ఎలాగ స్టార్ట్ అయింది ప్రాసెస్? ఎన్నేళ్ల క్రితం మీరు ఫస్ట్ డ్రాఫ్ట్ రాశారు, లేకపోతే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎప్పుడు పిచ్ చేశారు మీరు?
అంటే I started seriously writing this maybe ఒక 2019 ఆ టైంలో, like this version of the script, writing and putting this film together. వేరే ideas of the script were there before ఎప్పటి నుంచో. One early idea was అదే పక్క రూమ్లో చెప్పాను, వేర్ ఐ థాట్ ఒక చిన్న VFX కోర్స్ చేశాను నేను కూడా. చేసి ఒక ఐడియా ఉండే, సో ఆ కోర్స్ చేస్తే సినిమా తీసేయచ్చు అనుకుని ఐ స్టార్టెడ్ ఆఫ్. అండ్ సో దట్ వాజ్ వన్ వర్జన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ స్టోరీ ఎప్పుడుదో. So it's been a long dream to make this project, a long process. And the story of this film also required that kind of time. Ante required oka kind of maturity or something for it to happen. So it took that long, and yeah, and this movie, like ఏదో మేము ఒక మేకింగ్ వీడియోలు పెడతాం కదా ఫ్రమ్ స్క్రాచ్ అని, లైక్ లిటరలీ ఎవ్రీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో, వెదర్ ఇట్ వాజ్ రైటింగ్, వెదర్ ఇట్ వాజ్ art or costume or anything, we had to learn so many things because we didn't really know how to do them because there was nobody who had done it before. So yeah, and so everything I'm seeing along the way, like, you know, like I'm seeing one face scan stall on the 3D printer stall on the virtual production stall on the, so everything I'm seeing, we've been past 2-3 years, we've been, you know, talking to people who do that kind of stuff, various countries nunchi or various cities nunchi, individual freelancers. There's so much talent actually in India, and thanks to actually social media, you see so much talent of individual VFX artists who are probably not even associated with bigger studios, who would come up with really good work. And we got to meet a lot of them, inspired by a lot of them. Some of them work for us. It's a process. So Kalki is like one college అనుకోండి, బేసిక్లీ ఒక 4-5 yearsగా కాలేజ్ వెళ్తున్నాము, హోప్ఫుల్లీ నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అవుతాం. సో దట్స్ ద ప్రాసెస్.
ఎక్సలెంట్. సో కథ ముందు రాసారా, లేకపోతే ఇది విజువల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ముందు అవ్వాలనుకున్నారా? అది ఎలాగా, లేకపోతే రెండు కంబైన్ అయిందా?
కథ రాసిన తర్వాతే ఇంకా దెన్ వి స్టార్టెడ్ ఇంకా హౌ టు అప్రోచ్ దట్ స్టోరీ, వాట్ సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ అప్రోచ్ ఇట్ నీడ్స్, వి ఫిగర్డ్.
రైట్. సో బేసిక్గా అందరూ ఇంకొక క్వశ్చన్ అడిగాలి అనుకున్నది ఏంటి అని అంటే, హౌ హార్డ్ ఇస్ ఇట్ టు వర్క్ విత్ యాక్టర్స్, ఎస్పెషలీ లైక్ వెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ సచ్ అ ఫ్యూచరిస్టిక్ ఫిల్మ్, ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ బీయింగ్ మేడ్ ఇన్ తెలుగు సినిమా, యునో, లైక్ నథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్ హ్యాస్ హ్యాపెండ్ ఎవర్ బిఫోర్. సో హౌ డూ యూ యాజ్ అ డైరెక్టర్ మేనేజ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దాట్ అండి?
Actually, to be honest, ఈ సినిమాలో the actors are probably something I look forward to, the simplest part, like, because that is actually what the filmmaking is about. And all of them legends, all the actors, like Prabhas garu, biggest star, Amitabh sir, Inka Kamal sir, and Deepika, and all of them are, because they've achieved so much, they're also humble, so it actually makes you uncomfortable on mat. So it's like, I'm like comparatively a bacha in front of everyone, so they're so humble, they make life easy for you, they're like, you know, so I think the actors are the easy part of Kalki. I think everything else was something that we had to learn and create.
సో విజువల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ వాడినప్పుడు వాట్ వేర్ లైక్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఛాలెంజెస్ యూ ఫేస్డ్, ఆర్ మీకు కావాల్సింది మీకు దొరికిందా? వరల్డ్ బిల్డింగ్ కానివ్వండి, లైటింగ్ కానివ్వండి, కలర్ టోన్ కానివ్వండి, అదంతా మీరు కలర్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అంతా ముందే రాసుకున్నారా, లేకపోతే అది ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ అంటే ఒక
ఇట్స్ ఈ సినిమాకి ఐ థింక్ యాజ్ వీ కమ్ క్లోజర్ టు ద రిలీజ్ ఎక్కువ డీటెయిల్స్ వీ కెన్ ఈవెన్ టాక్ అబౌట్, బట్ it's so much about concept art to create this world. So we had to do a lot of homework like that, like put it together. Concept artists very దగ్గర నుంచి తీసుకొచ్చి build it and see how it looked and how it all fit together. And VFX, it's the final step of everything, putting it together. But the first step was like building that world, that visual language or design.
So what would be again like your advice when you're talking to a visual effects studio today? What would you tell them to be prepared for your next film or your future films? What would be like an advice that you could probably give to the students as well as to the studios that are visiting here? What are some things that you would like them to be more prepared so that you can straight away go into pre-visualization or production?
Ante, I don't know if I have enough thing to give advice, but I think at the end of the day it's just physics completely. So my only advice is just keep an eye out for physics. Like if something looks wrong, it's because something's wrong. It means the light is coming from somewhere else. The fellow is not bouncing right, weight is not interacting right. It really comes back only to physics. So if any of our movies, if you go back 2000s lo, we made some movies, 90s lo, we made some really awkward looking VFX films. So if you go back and look at them, the reason is it's always physics. It's like sometimes maybe we didn't have the render power to put it out, but now I don't think we can complain about that. I think our laptops have the render power to put out anything. So yeah. So if you come down to actually the maths and physics, the VFX is just yeah.
We'll take a few questions. So anybody that has questions, please raise your hands. But it has to be very specific to visual effects, animation, virtual production. If you ask me a question that doesn't suit, I will not take your question. I'm going to say that right now. Please raise your hands. I'll come to you. One more thing, Nag, can you tell me what do you think about AI? Like, how do you think that's affecting filmmaking or visual effects, and what do you suggest for the generations to come?
It's like such a, and I wish I had the answer to something like that so readily. What does AI think of us is a better question.
I mean, we are AI, right? I mean, we are the ones feeding it information. It's not
feeding it, yeah.
we are the ones giving it the energy.
Yeah, so it's a big change. Like what everybody, I think, what a good. Somebody was talking about back in the day. There used to be a big market for people getting their pictures painted. Until like photo loche mundu, they used to get their paintings done basically. So as soon as the camera became readily available and it became like a simple thing, everybody thought painters are going to go out of jobs, but actually what happened was painters just did other stuff. They just figured out a way to express themselves differently. So every time a new tech comes, you think the old people are going to lose their job, but it's just that the old guys will just find a different way to express. It's just an evolution. So I think maybe the similar thing will happen to AI. It'll be a big shift, but I think, yeah, maybe something similar will happen.
I think that's a great question, great answer also.